Alright, so we're back with some round 2 action, and we have a hand where it would be significantly better if this Jar Sage were anything else. But again, we have the backdoor option of peeling a Burning Tree Emissary. So, also we have a Courser, so it's not that bad. It is kind of awkward that our 3-drops are the ones with like 4 power and 4 toughness. So, they'll like evolve this, and then if we play Eidolon, we don't get any value from evolving. And it looks like we're up against another Swamp deck. This hand's pretty good against them, and we have the Burning Tree Emissary. So, I like where this game is going. Certainly don't need that Forest. We got plenty of lands already. Pack Rat is kind of an issue. Elvish Mystic right on time. So we're going to go with Gyre Sage, and then hopefully Burning Tree into an Eidolon next turn, start drawing some cards, and either we find a Setessan Tactics or just enough dudes to block that Pack Rat. Otherwise, we're going to have to go over the top with Garrett probably. So I am not going to block, because that would probably end up poorly for me. He's going to life bane me, which is good for him, but not the end of the world. And he took Courser Crucifix, which is interesting. I'm not sure if he realized that I'm going to be able to play Eidolon this turn or not. Kind of interesting. Bang! The combo has been assembled. We've done it. And just draw a replacement Courser anyway. So, overall, not too bad. I'm going to snap block his Pack Rat with this 1/1. Oh, that Life Bane zombie should have attacked for sure. Wonder if he just misclicked through. It's entirely possible. Oh no, not the demon. This is basically like the worst possible start for me to face against, just because they have the pressure. If he's trying to, like, you know, kill my dudes, like, I don't really care. Eventually I'm going to draw into something good. So now, hopefully this Courser can draw something sweet off Eidolon. Going to evolve this and then probably play Nykthos. So we're going to have 7 mana available. So just draw another Forest. No big deal. Okay, and there's a Nylea on top, which is good. Jesus Christ, dog. What's wrong with you? Just had an itch, apparently. Anyway. So Nylea next turn is going to be sweet. Ugh. Just do this, and then hopefully things won't resize weirdly. So Nylea next turn is going to be sweet with this Nykthos. Also going to get to draw a card for value. But it's not going to be enough to kill him unless we draw something sweet off the Constellation trigger. But maybe it's enough to race him. So I'm just going to play the Nykthos in case we end up having another Nykthos on top, and then we can have a pretty big turn. And I do not want to sacrifice any of my creatures. So our devotion is at 9 currently. So we'll have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This costs 4, so we'll have 9, 10, 11 mana potentially next turn. Although we could play this and get 12. If we play this before we activate Nykthos, it like effectively reduces the cost by 1. So maybe 12-ish mana next turn, or like 8 extra after we cast Nylea. I'm going to be taking 9 this turn, so I don't think I need to start sacking now. You could have like 2 Grey Merchants, and that would be bad. But I don't think I can really play around that and still win, just because if I'm sacking to this every turn, I'm not going to have a lot going on. So he is being very passive and just not attacking with anything, which I like. That means that I can actually win this game. Yeah, Temple is fine. I think I have to play this because I don't want to draw the Temple with the Nylea anyway. So I'm going to keep that Courser because it's another thing for Constellation, so I can draw 2 cards this turn. And if he's not willing to attack me, that means I don't have to attack him necessarily. I don't know, I guess if he kills the Eidolon and I'm not drawing cards, then maybe I can make one of my guys really big, like the Courser or something, make it so he can attack through this demon. But if he's not attacking me, I'm content to just sit here and draw cards. And then I'll just set it up so I have lethal Alpha Swing. Alright, so if I play Nightly off these, I'm gonna evolve this. Okay, Blue Kronos is cool. So now we're at the point where we can't gain any more devotion before we activate Nykthos, so we have to do that. So if I play Courser, I'll have 8 left, so I can play Blue Kronos with 5 left, counting this untapped Temple. He's just letting me go off. So maybe his hand is like 4 Grey Merchants or something. Look at that Gyre Sage. 5/6. No big deal. I guess Nightly makes it a 6/7 also, but. So now the question is, if I fight a Pack Rat or a Life Bane, and I think I'm just gonna kill the Life Bane, assuming he has nothing, which I guess is the case. So again, not going to attack this turn. I should have lethal next turn. He's just not even making a rat or anything. He is just giving up at this point. I don't blame him, you know? Deck's doing its thing. There's no way you can kill me, so I'm not attacking. Got this itch. Yeah. Take it. I think I'd be in a little bit more trouble if you attack me the last 2 turns. Realistically, I'd be at 9-ish life and would have my 2 Elvish Mystics dead, maybe? No, I'd be at like 8 life. 8 life and 1 Mystic dead. So I think I would still win this game, even if he got aggressive, just because of the series of enchantments and the fact that he couldn't kill the Eidolon. But still, I mean, in this matchup specifically, like, he has to play pretty tight. He has to get very aggressive. Every point of damage matters, especially when I have Courser, like, gaining me a couple life here and there. It often comes down to inches. Okay, so 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So these 3 lands are 14, 15, 16. So we have 16. No. Yeah, okay. So we'll have 16 with this. And then we'll just attack them with everyone. I've been playing a lot of Vintage Masters, and making attacks like this makes me, like, deathly scared of Tangle, even though, you know, he's not green and it's not in the format, but it's just like, oh man, does he have it? If you had a Tangle, I might lose. Alright. Up a game. See, these black decks are not that tough to beat. I don't know. Nope, not that Disciple. I don't want that. I want these things. The Boon Satyr out of here. These Nyleas. That worked pretty well last time. I do want that 3rd tactic still. I'm not sure what that means for my deck. as far as how I have it built, because I don't really want to cut anything else. And I think I still want this third Eidolon in the sideboard, although it could very easily just not be there. I guess I used to not have ooze against them. Yeah, so I'll try cutting an ooze. This is certainly one of those matchups where like my graveyard is taxed by Pharika, especially since I have all 3 in. So could see cutting one of those. And okay, so maybe this means I should have an extra card for mono black in my sideboard where I don't want these 2 oozes. 1 ooze might be fine though. We'll see. Like I said, this deck, like the numbers are not perfect, and these sideboarding strategies are certainly not perfect. I know like generally what I want and what I don't want, but like the ooze I could take it or leave it. Certainly something that you don't need, and there are games where it is going to not be very good. So kind of want to play against a control deck and see if these Thought Seizes are any good, but it seems like not many people are playing it. Come on, guy. Let's battle. He seemed like pretty distraught after last game. Just like no attacks, no blocks, not making rats, just... Ugh. So chats keep popping up. It's kind of annoying. Not that like the guy that's chatting with me is annoying. He had some like pretty cool stuff to say actually, but just like how it keeps popping up. It's like, yeah, man, I'll get to it. So I have 2 Nykthos, which are generally pretty bad. Just like drawing multiples in this matchup because your devotion should not be super high unless you're probably winning, but I like the 2 coursers. The 2 coursers are great. Plus I have a Scryland. Burning Tree Emissary might help with the devotion. But like if I have Burning Tree and he keeps killing my coursers, then the Burning Tree is not really doing anything as far as devotion. But if the first courser lives, I should have some pretty good turns, assuming I can find something. Here we go. Thoughtseize. No surprise there, him taking a courser, and we draw Pharika, which is good. It's a good card. Hopefully this can not get Lifebane Zombie. That'd be fantastic. So, I kind of want that land, actually. Maybe not, though. So my plan is to go Burning Tree Courser. Or rather, maybe it's Burning Tree Pharika. I'm not really sure. But, like, the Overgrown Tomb actually doesn't get me any closer to, like, double activating Pharika. And if I draw a 4-drop, I can just burn one of these Nykthoses. So I think I'm going to bottom this. It could very easily end up where, like, I'm kind of choked on mana. But I think at this stage in the game, I can't really worry about that. Like, I'm far more worried about having some amount of gas left after he Thoughtseizes and Lifebane Zombies me, so I'm just going to ship that. And like I said, the second Nykthos is not doing too much, so if I have to burn this, like just lose one of these to get to 4 mana, I'm completely fine with that. Alright, so we have a Forest. I'm going to play that instead of taking 2, just because it really doesn't matter, like giving him information. I think that's kind of overrated, especially with a deck like this where it's like, okay, so now you don't know 2 cards in my hand, you know, like, is that really going to change the way you play? No, like, you're still going to Lightbane me, you're still going to play Demon, or whatever, you know, so just don't take the damage. Show them extra cards, it doesn't really matter. I'm fine with that getting fleshed, that is cool with me. More food for Pharika, just don't Lightbane my Pharika, alright. Cool, now we're in business. So now I think I run this out there just to get it into play, so it's safe. And then can play the Courser next turn. Maybe get a little value, hit some lands. So I'm pretty glad I bought him that land just based on how this game has played out so far, where A, I've drawn a bunch of lands, and B, I could have used some extra gas. So he doesn't have a demon or anything. He must just have like the all removal draw. Okay, so Gerry is a sweet one. I am definitely keeping that. So I could play this Temple, but I know I'm keeping it on top, so I'm kind of losing a scry there. But then next turn I can play this and have an Ooze and a Pharika, but I guess I could do that if I play this tapped anyway. So maybe it's better to just play the Tomb, but I might need this untapped if I'm casting Gerry the hard way with 6 mana. So yeah, I think I'm just going to play the tap land. I'm going to lose the scry. I have enough going on that I don't need the scry really. So yeah, he's going to kill that, which is expected. And I have action, so me losing out on a scry is not that big of a deal. Just like being able to cast my spells in a timely manner is what matters right now, I think. Oh no, my Ooze! Alright, I guess we're playing that Tomb on tap now that he life-baned me. So I can make some snakes. He's only got 3 cards. We're above 20 life. We have Pharika, about to have a Gerry in play potentially. He's willing to trade his Lifebane for a snake, it looks like, which is also cool. So I like the way this game is going. Yes, that is the best trade ever. Oh no, the post-combat Gray Merchant. You could have drained me for 2 extra life. So that's cool too. If he didn't trade, I think I could only make 1 snake. I don't want to get Bile Blighted, so that works out well. And now we're just going to run Gerry out there, so get rid of that Nykthos to make a mana, and draw some creatures. A couple creatures, you know, not bad, not bad. We're going to leave the snake back to defend. So at this point, it's pretty tough for me to lose. Yeah, he gets it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if he had a pack rat that game and was killing my stuff, the game would be much different. Pharika did its job, made it so that I could kill this Lightbane zombie, and like when I finally got to Gerry, it would not be under pressure. The Gray Merchants were not very good since he just had like removal and interaction. Generally, like this is a reasonable finisher once I actually start overloading the board and maybe I'm tapping down his demons or something. But he really needs pack rat or Lifebane zombie to clock me, which is why I like the tactics, because if I get to kill those creatures, the games kind of play out like this. And Pharika's another way to defend myself against stuff like that. So 2 matches in, 2-0 against 2 mono black devotion decks, so far so good.